So if I only have 5 minutes to meditate, I have 5 functional, effective minutes of meditation, which is better than 20 minutes of almost meditate or getting ready to meditate. I don't want to warm up. I want to, again, this is part of my New York background. I want to jump in and get right there. I don't want to take 20 minutes to get there. I want to be there and spend 20 minutes or 5 minutes or however long that is in state. And that's what you could do with music that gets you there within seconds. It brings with it a high level of bliss. It is so peaceful and so, it's the most fun I have other than laughing or making love. It is such a high, that level of creativity, of tapping into that level of intuition, when things that you never thought about just are there. It's like that aha moment. And that brings with it that experience of bliss. And that's part of what it's all about.
Now we know that we can pull your brain waves by the nose and make them go wherever we want. And since brain waves control consciousness, we can commandeer your consciousness. So this idea of synchronizing the brain waves of the hemispheres is the kind of experience we all want. We're all looking for that. It's the aha moment. It's the moment when the lateral out-of-the-box thinking takes place, when the creative idea comes through, where the problem gets solved. It's the eureka we all want. High meditation states always have a hemisphere synchronicity thing as part of that. The Dalai Lama did a research project at the University of Wisconsin with a handful of his monks that have been meditating for 30 years. And they wanted to see what happens in the brain, what happens when you're in these high states of meditation that these guys can go to. And they did fMRI studies of the brain, and they did a high-end brain mapping with EEG, sophisticated EEG equipment. And what they saw was massive amplitudes of gamma brain activity. So that particular type of meditation practice, that Tibetan Buddhist Dalai Lama meditation practice, yields that kind of brain activity. When you put the headphones on, you listen to the soundtrack, and it entrains your brain waves to a more relaxed state than you're capable of getting to because you're stuck in this fight or flight mode. If we can succeed in helping you to relax that with brain entrainment, then every time you listen to that soundtrack and you go to this lesser stressed place, this non-stressed place, that place is getting stronger every time you do it. It's like going to a gym and working a muscle. Every time you go there, something that you use over and over and over again, the brain makes that stronger. Right? So most people who are stressed out by the 21st century can't relax. They're locked in this cycle, right? So if you have a brainwave entrainment soundtrack that takes you deeper, right, then you're most likely to surrender the stress response to a relaxation response because the entrainment is driving your brainwaves down to this deeper state.
Binaural beats will accelerate the depth of your meditation, and it will help you go deeper, faster. So when your brainwaves are coherent, you've got, access to way more knowledge and information, brain power. It's almost like you need that calm, quiet mind, and you can solve a problem. You can solve huge problems. Gamma waves are the fastest of all the brain waves, and they're associated with lucidity, high-level thinking, focus, concentration. It's wide awake consciousness.
In any given moment, consciousness can only be experiencing what's going on in that moment or analyzing what's going on in that moment. It's almost impossible to be in both of those at the same time. And the Eastern worlds have really focused on the experiential aspects of life, whereas the Western worlds have really focused on the analysis points of life. And right now in our world, in our Western worlds, most people spend, 95% or greater, maybe 99% of their time in the analysis mode. We don't really remember analysis. A lot of people will wake up when they're 80 years old and they'll wonder, where did my life go? And the reason they can't remember is because they weren't really there. They weren't experiencing it. They were analyzing it. The greatest thing that I've learned is that there's a pharmacy in here. And we're the pharmacists. We can write a prescription to feel any way we want to feel, but most people won't do that. Most people will let somebody else or some situation they're in write the prescription for them. So it's a much better life coping tool to learn how to create those own chemicals within your own brain so that you can, anytime you want, you can be in that space. A certain type of meditation that leaves you extremely profoundly relaxed, but also very alert, is a much better life coping tool than one that teaches you how to go into the closet and escape away from everything. It used to take 40 years to learn how to do that. But now with all the technology, like you said, it can be shortcutted to where you can put a person into the experience. And it's kind of like riding a bicycle. Once you learn how to get there, then you can get back there without having to learn it all over again. You remember.
When you're at peace and resonating in your own natural note, first of all, your immune system flourishes. It's where the health is, because now your whole body goes, no resistance. Now we can just run health and heal, right? But it's also a portal to creativity. It's a portal to other dimensions, and probably the best, it's a portal to where you're one with the universe. But when your left and right brain synchronize, then you go into a state where your whole brain is working and you can focus on multiple things at once. We're not talking multitasking. We're talking simultaneously. So that's the ultimate state. And it's the state of the shaman where you know all.
The main thing with YouTube is that it uses a recompression of the video and the audio. So when you're listening to it through YouTube, you may not even get the result or the minimum quality that the author of a YouTube video sort of intended. So that is the main thing. When listening to a binaural beats, any binaural beats product, it should definitely be on the medium that the supplier has supplied it with. So either a CD or a direct streaming from their website or an app. But it is never a good idea to listen to such waves of sound that have such an effect through something else, where they've been uploaded or repackaged. The brain is like our central processing unit on a computer. So it's the heart of the computer, so to say, the heart of the thinking mind. And just like a computer, the brain has frequencies that are basically associated with each thought. Now, each thought and each emotion has a very specific type of brain frequency. Now, it tends to be that when a person is stressed, what happens to the brain waves is that they become more chaotic, more erratic, and basically jumping all over the place. You need a system which can relax and calm down these brain frequencies to bring them back into a state of pleasant calmness that we feel most at ease with. Simply by doing a meditative session, it is possible to make a change for the better. Now, the problem is that usually meditation takes years and years to practice in order to get this result. But binaural beats is a technology that can make this process considerably faster because it uses this special type of sound which is able to achieve the meditative effect which you need to learn for all those years much, much faster.